just habitual.
Oh, I just realized we also had the player cam on when Swordguard was playing. He has the seizure hand.
Oh yeah, he was like.
Oh yeah, you guys should have zoomed in on his hands, man.
Yeah.
I don't think we can zoom in.
We just have to move the camera. Probably.
All right, so there we go.
Yeah, so Blacktwins is telling me he.
Oh, by the way.
Blacktwins, your hair looks good now.
Okay, yeah, full screen AV.
Alright.
Lucas. Well.
He should have gone Yoshi, in my opinion.
I think so, too.
Just because, like, one thing that's, like, really interesting about Yoshi is just you can't shield poke him. And it's, like, it's sort of a property I guess I wish more characters had. Or just I wish Yoshi was a better character.
Yeah, I wish he had a regular shield.
You wish he had a regular shield?
Well,
Yoshi?
Yeah, I wish he did. But I guess like if he had a regular shield and he couldn't get and it didn't shrink like the way his shield, well, that'd be pretty broken actually. I guess it's a trade-off.
So you mean like sort of just so he could jump out of shield and stuff?
Yeah, and he also has extended shield drop. Like most characters have 7 frames, he has 17.
Oh,
so
wow.
A lot more. And his rolls are pretty terrible too.
Honestly, though, I think if he did have the properties of a regular shield, and he also had the sort of like the eggshell, sort of like it doesn't really diminish or anything, I think that'd make him a lot more of a balanced character actually, because Yoshi's pretty bad.
You think so?
I mean, like, so are you gonna say he's gonna be better than Meta Knight?
No, no.
So I mean, there you go. Like legitimately, seriously, if he's not better than Meta Knight. Seems fair to me.
Okay, yeah.
Like, do you see where I'm going with that? Yeah.
I see what you mean.
So I mean,
it's a shame. I hate seeing characters like this. Like Lucas, his moveset has a lot of potential, but then he has like a really bad weakness in his grab releases.
And it seems like a useless sort of thing. I mean, and the thing is too, like I wish like if they could patch this game. Like, you know how people like make sort of like, you know, brawl, balance brawl and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree with a lot of the things that they do to patch, but I mean, I think that there's no real like sort of perfect patch. But what I'm trying to say is that they sort of add some properties. You know what I mean? They either add like say like T.T.D, where they make it so that it's impossible for him to chain grab or something, you know, and same thing with like ice climbers and stuff. What I think like really should happen is like properties of certain characters should move. So for instance, say if Meta Knight and Wario swapped air release properties.
Okay, I see what you mean.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So stuff like that. Or if Meta Knight and Lucas swapped ground release properties. Yeah. You know, like it's not something that's like someone just made up, you know, like something like Sonic's spring sending people straight downwards. That's like someone made that up, right? Like that's I personally think that that's too artificial.
Okay, I see.
You know what I mean? If you take something that's already in the game
and just apply
it to a different character, then I think like it drastically drastically and legitimately. I mean, could you imagine if Meta Knight had Wario's air release?
Yeah, he'd be a
like
lot easier.
Marth?
Snake.
The reverse sports smash?
Yeah. they would both beat Meta Knight probably. Oh, well, Snake probably. I don't know about Marth.
Like Zero Suit? Zero Suit would definitely beat. I think so. Actually, maybe not, just because of like weird grab properties and like sort of hard to land the grab and stuff.
Yeah.
Can Zero Suit chain grab Wario?
She can, but the thing is, like, it's really hard to do because you can't buffer the grab, or else it comes out too early. So you have to like do it like 3 or 4 frames after on your 3rd or 4th available frame after the air release animation. It's weird.
An unfriendly blob agreeing with me again. Shout out to a friendly blob. I mean, like, I hope that oh yeah, as far as Brawl Minus goes, I mean, I do enjoy Brawl Minus genuinely, just because it's like it's meant to be ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, it's meant to be like balanced in the fact that everyone's ridiculously broken, and I think that some of the fun is just trying to figure out what the characters can do when you don't know what they can do when you first play. So you see things like some characters I think are really stupid though. Like I can't use Olimar in that game. Olimar, like if he has no Pikmin, he throws himself. He legit, like, if you have no Pikmin and you side B with Olimar in Brawl Minus, he'll throw himself.
That's pretty silly. But anyway, Holy wins 2 stock. I'm pretty sure Blacktwins is gonna go Yoshi.
Probably.
Yeah.
Up until the second, when the second match happens, we'll sort of do legit commentary. But up until then, I like where this is going.
Yeah.
I mean, other things like
there are things in this game I feel like they exist for no reason and they hinder characters for no reason.
exactly, yeah.
The ground releases on Ness and Lucas.
And then like the air releases on like Wario and stuff.
And
I
the,
mean,
let's see what else is there. Like Yoshi's shield.
yeah, I mean like the inability to jump out of it, and I mean, and some things like other things too, like air dodge. Like Meta Knight has what, like the best air dodge in the game, right?
Yeah.
And they could have switched that out with like Peach's air dodge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's so many things that you could do using only, people like Project Melee. I wish Olimar was in the game, and that's all I can say about that. But yeah, it's just sort of like a last thing. The whole point is that, yeah, you could take the things that are in the game already and just apply them to other characters, and that would those are legitimate balances. I mean, could you imagine if Meta Knight had Peach's air dodge?
That'd be pretty funny.
That like he'd be like just twirling there forever, and he's only invincible for like a third of it. But yeah, I mean, do you have anything else to say on that, or?
No, not really.
But do you agree with me?
I agree with
you do. All right. So I mean, I think that's the best way.
Like if Ness had a regular ground release, and I guess I think he'd probably be high tier, or at least top of mid tier.
Really?
Yeah, I think he has a really, really good moveset.
Okay.
And he also has the mobility. Like even now we see Ness doing fairly well just because he has the mobility to avoid grabs.
Right.
Better than most characters. The problem is that when he gets grabbed, he gets punished a lot harder.
And like you could imagine like Wario with Meta Knight's air release and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
He'd be a lot less vulnerable to things. And okay, here we go. Hey.
Wow.
Hey, oh man. Hey, okay. Hey, oh man.
That's a weird chain grab. I've never seen that.
It makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It makes sense. Now, okay, so to go into the match, like, you know, legitimately,
oh, back air kill.
wow, Blacktwins is putting in some hard work, so good job on his part.
I don't know who I want to win because
I'm indifferent at this point.
whoever wins gets sent. Whoever loses, I probably have to play eventually. Hopefully, I play eventually.
So he kind of has like a little bit of bias on that. But okay, so I mean, with desync blizzards, apparently glide attack beats it at some weird angle.
Probably just really hard to space.
Yeah, probably, but I think that was sort of an optimistic grab on Blacktwins' part. I've seen like so many different ways of playing this matchup. I mean, look at QB, 9B, whatever you want to call him, right? Now, I've seen him, like, you know, in videos in general, and again, I'm not going to say, like, I watch the most amount of videos, which is something I probably should do, but that's a whole nother story. Anyways, he sort of, like, you know, has the no fear sort of thing, and I say that in quotes. It's like, you know, just walking up to people and just not flinching,
yeah,
you know, regardless of what they do. But at Apex, like, if you saw Set versus Anti, he was doing a lot more movement, like, a phenomenal, like, amount more of movement. Like he would be desyncing with the Nana. Nana would be just like sort of just doing grounded blizzards while like Popo's doing his own thing, sort of thing. And it's like I don't know anymore. Like I really don't know. Even with Vinny, like there's so many sort of different ways to play the matchup, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's like the basics, you know, from just like, you know, up air beats ice climbers, up air beats down air, and you know you could do things like, you know, rising forward air used to be, you know, the way to go, you know, from Meta Knight. It used to be the way to go. Sword Guard then told me he basically figured out that if you just run up to Meta Knight and grab, then that's a confirm. It beats rising forward air, and yeah, that works. And I mean,
you mean grab armoring it or like grabbing?
No. Like
comes out?
you just like no fear. You know, you just grow a pair and go for the grab.
Okay.
And like you're not armoring it. You legit like do it earlier.
Okay.
And desync blizzard like way back in the day. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Desync from halfway across the stage.
Desync blizzard way back in the day. We're talking Lane versus Mewtwo King at Apex 2009. Desync Blizzard
I
used.
didn't even see that.
Well, yeah, you weren't even born then, technically. And what I mean by that is that he didn't start. V15 didn't start playing until like 2011.
June.
Yeah, June 2011. But yeah, so Apex, like literally 2 years before you started. Desync Blizzard, yeah, you know, because it beats NATO, you know, and it used to be the way to go. And then people just sort of like, you know, hover over it, get them at the 45-degree angle. Then you see like, you know, the QB sort of, you know, just wait there. If you desync, put Nana up, and then Nana spikes them down. You go for the grab, that's a confirm. You see weird things like Vinny just running in neutral airing, and then that confirms the grab as well.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of weird things, and it's just, I legitimately don't know how this matchup is played anymore. Like, I really don't. I mean, like, do you?
It's like you were saying earlier. There's just so many ways to play this matchup.
And it's really developed a lot, you know. So, ooh. Now, obviously, Ice Climbers being the character that they are, victory is still possible. Or I guess in the yeah, victory is still possible. Nana's, as long as Nana's alive,
Yeah,
Hope
she's
is
dead.
alive.
Oh,
Hey, Hope's
she's dead.
all right.
So this probably isn't going to happen.
Unless he pulls a QB versus ADHD, but in Holy's defense, this is not Diddy Kong.
Yeah. That ice block was so good.
I also find it particularly interesting, actually, in that set, QB versus ADHD. You know, ADHD was supposed to be sort of the wild card against the Japanese, right? You know, Japanese don't know how to fight Diddy, this and that, right?
Yeah.
And, like, Otori took him out in the crew battle. Like, just, he took off the one stock. But it showed, like, you know, a decent level of proficiency, I guess. And he lost to QB. So, I mean, I guess the Japanese, despite not, you know, some people say, like, Zero and etc., like, say, like, you know, ADHD is sort of like the best player, you know, that they've ever played. You know, Zero, he's saying, you know, ADHD was the hardest person, at least back around the time when he lost 3 sets to him. And